Kofi was born in a small village nestled amidst rolling hills. It was a place where life moved at a slower pace, dictated by the rhythms of nature. The air was always filled with the sounds of children laughing, roosters crowing, and the gentle hum of daily life. The village was more than just a collection of huts, it was a community. Everyone knew each other's names, shared in each other's joys, and supported each other through tough times. Kofi's family, though humble, was rich in love. His parents, farmers by trade, instilled in him the values of hard work, respect, and above all, the importance of education. They believed that education was the key to breaking the cycle of poverty and unlocking a brighter future. Kofi's days were filled with the simple joys of village life. He loved playing with his friends, chasing chickens, and listening to his grandfather's stories under the starry sky. Life in the village was not without its challenges. Resources were scarce, and opportunities were limited. Many children didn't have the chance to go to school, instead spending their days helping their families in the fields. But Kofi's parents were determined to give him a better life. They knew that education was his passport to a brighter future, a chance to dream bigger than the confines of their small village. Kofi's day started before the sun even thought about rising. He would wake up to the sound of his mother grinding millet for breakfast. After a quick meal, it was time for his chores. He helped fetch water from the well, a task that involved balancing a heavy clay pot on his head. Then, he would sweep the compound and tend to their small vegetable garden. By the time the sun began to peek over the horizon, Kofi was ready for school. He would walk for miles, his bare feet kicking up dust on the dirt road. He didn't mind the long walk, he loved learning. The school was a small, single-room building, but to Kofi it was a palace of knowledge. He soaked up everything his teachers taught him, his mind hungry for knowledge. After school, Kofi's day was far from over. He would rush back home to help his parents in the fields. Evenings were precious. Kofi would study by the flickering light of a kerosene lamp, his brow furrowed in concentration. His family often gathered around him, listening intently as he read aloud from his textbooks. Kofi excelled in his studies. He had a thirst for knowledge that could not be quenched. His teachers were impressed by his intelligence, his eagerness to learn, and his unwavering determination. He absorbed information like a sponge, devouring every book he could lay his hands on. Math came naturally to him, the logic and precision resonating with his inquisitive mind. Science fascinated him, opening his eyes to the wonders of the world around him. His favorite subject, however, was history. He loved learning about the past, about different cultures, about the struggles and triumphs of people throughout time. It made him realize that he was part of something much larger than himself, part of a long and complex tapestry of human existence. His teachers, recognizing his potential, encouraged him to dream big. They told him that education was his ticket to a better life, a life beyond the limitations of their small village. Life threw Kofi a curveball when his father fell ill. It was a time of great uncertainty and fear. With his father unable to work the fields, the responsibility of providing for the family fell on Kofi's young shoulders. He had to drop out of school and find work. He did odd jobs, carrying heavy loads, working on construction sites, anything to earn a few shillings to support his family. But even as he toiled away, his heart yearned for the classroom. He would borrow books from his friends and study late into the night, the flickering flame of the kerosene lamp his only companion. Despite the hardships, Kofi never gave up hope. He knew that education was his ticket out, his way to help his family and his community. He just needed a chance. He knew that his education was not just about him, it was about his family, his village, and his future. One day a ray of hope pierced through the darkness. News reached the village of a scholarship program. This program offered underprivileged students a chance to attend a prestigious school in the city. Kofi knew this was his chance. He studied day and night, poring over his books, determined to make the most of this opportunity. The day of the scholarship exam dawned bright and clear. Kofi, his heart pounding with a mixture of hope and anxiety, walked for hours to reach the examination center. He had prepared to the best of his abilities, fueled by the dreams of a better future. The exam was grueling, testing the limits of his knowledge and endurance. But Kofi persevered, his determination burning brighter than ever before. Weeks turned into an eternity as Kofi anxiously awaited the results. Then, one day, a letter arrived. The letter contained news that would change Kofi's life forever. He had won the scholarship. Overjoyed and humbled, he embraced his parents, tears of joy streaming down their faces. It was a bittersweet moment. Leaving his family and the only home he had ever known was one of the hardest things he had ever had to do. But he knew this was his chance to build a better future, not just for himself, but for his entire family. The city was a whirlwind of noise, lights, and unfamiliar faces. It was a far cry from the peace and quiet of his village. Kofi threw himself into his studies, determined to make the most of this opportunity. He excelled in his classes, impressing his teachers with his work ethic and thirst for knowledge. However, life in the city was expensive. To support himself, Kofi took on part-time jobs. He worked as a waiter, a night watchman, and even a construction worker, juggling his responsibilities with the demands of his studies. There were times when he felt overwhelmed, exhausted, and on the verge of giving up. But then, he would remember his parents, their sacrifices, their unwavering belief in him. He would picture the faces of the children in his village, their eyes filled with hope, looking up to him as a role model. And he would pick himself up, dust himself off, and keep going. He knew his journey was not just about him, it was about inspiring others to dream big and to fight for those dreams, no matter the obstacles. He knew that his education was a privilege, a gift that he couldn't afford to waste. Despite his busy schedule, Kofi never forgot his roots. He would often find himself lost in thought, his mind drifting back to his village. He missed the familiar sights, the sounds, the smells. He missed his family, their laughter, their stories, their unwavering love. He missed the simplicity of life in the village, where the air was clean, the stars shone bright, and time seemed to move at a slower, more deliberate pace. He would often take out a small, worn-out photograph of his family. It was his most prized possession, a reminder of where he came from and the people who had sacrificed so much for him. He held on to the memories of his childhood, the warmth of his community, as a source of strength and inspiration. Years passed in a blur of hard work and determination, and then, finally, the day arrived. Graduation day. Kofi, dressed in a cap and gown, his heart filled with a mix of pride and gratitude, walked across the stage to receive his diploma. As his name was announced and the audience erupted in applause, he couldn't help but think of his parents, his teachers, his friends, everyone who had supported him on his journey. This wasn't just his victory, it was theirs too. He had done it. He had achieved what he had set out to do, but his journey was far from over. He knew he had a responsibility to use his education to make a difference, to give back to his community, to inspire others to dream big. Kofi returned to his village, not as a boy who had left in search of a better life, but as a man on a mission. He was greeted with cheers, tears of joy, and a hero's welcome. The village elder, his voice filled with emotion, praised Kofi's determination and his commitment to his roots. Kofi, humbled by the outpouring of love and respect, knew that his journey had come full circle. He had left seeking knowledge and opportunity, and he had returned with a heart full of gratitude and a desire to serve. He started by organizing a literacy program for the village children. He believed that education was the most powerful weapon he could give them, a weapon to fight poverty, ignorance, and inequality. Kofi's story spread throughout the region, inspiring countless others. He became a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of education, hard work, and unwavering determination. He went on to establish a school in his village, a school that would provide quality education to children, regardless of their background or circumstances. The school became a beacon of hope, a place where dreams were nurtured and futures were shaped. Kofi's journey, from a small village to the bustling city and back, is a testament to the indomitable spirit that resides within us all. It's a story about the power of education, the importance of family, and the unwavering belief in oneself, even when the odds are stacked against you. Most importantly, it's a story about hope, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, anything is possible if you dare to dream big and work tirelessly to achieve your goals.